Taurus, take a deep breath now. What I'm about to tell you will make your entire body relax in a way you haven't felt in years. That weight you carry on your shoulders, that constant pressure in your chest, that feeling of always owing something to the universe, all of that is about to end. On November 8th and 9th, 2025, your 7-year karmic debt will be officially paid off, completely, definitely, forever. I know you didn't even realize you were paying off a debt. You just felt that life was harder than it should be, that you worked more than others but received less, that you gave more than you received, that you tried your hardest and yet seemed to be walking in place. This wasn't bad luck. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't because you were doing something wrong. It was because you were paying a bill that came from another time, another cycle, another version of yourself. Over the past 7 years, every obstacle you faced, every disappointment you experienced, every moment you asked yourself, "Why me?" was actually clearing a deep, energetic debt. And now, finally, the last installment will be paid. The universe has checked your accounts, seen that you have fulfilled everything you needed to fulfill, and on November 8th and 9th, 2025, it will release you completely. Can you feel this possibility of freedom, even if your mind doesn't fully believe it yet? I need you to understand what really happened in the last 7 years. You probably look back and see a sequence of difficulties, challenges, and frustrations. Relationships that didn't work out, opportunities that slipped through your fingers, efforts that didn't yield the expected results, moments where you were exhausted from trying so hard and failing. How many times did you ask yourself what you were doing wrong? How many times did you blame yourself for not being able to move forward as you wanted? The truth that will set you free now is this: you weren't doing anything wrong. You were paying. With each difficulty you faced with dignity, you reduced the debt a little. Each time you kept trying when everything seemed impossible, you paid off another piece. Each time you chose to maintain your integrity, even when it would have been easier to give up, you zeroed out another line on your cosmic account. And now, on November 8th and 9th, 2025, the universe will look at you and say, "It's paid. You are free." But what exactly was this debt? Where did it come from? Why 7 years? I'll explain it in a way that will make everything make sense. 7 years ago, in November 2018, you were at a specific point in your life where certain choices were made, certain patterns were established, certain energies were activated. You may not remember exactly what happened during that period, but your spirit remembers. It was when you entered a cycle of intense learning, where you needed to prove your strength, your perseverance, your ability to continue loving life, even when it wasn't easy for you. The number 7 was not chosen by chance. In the universe, 7 represents complete cycles of transformation. It is the time needed for each cell in your body to be renewed. It is the period it takes to learn certain soul lessons that cannot be rushed. You have gone through a refinement process that had to last exactly 7 years. No more, no less. And now this cycle is closing on November 8th and 9th, 2025. I want you to do a mental exercise with me now. Mentally go back to November 2018. Who were you back then? What did you believe about yourself? What were your fears, your limitations? Now look at who you are today. Can you see how much you've transformed? How much stronger, wiser, and more aware you've become? All this evolution didn't happen by chance. It happened because you were being forged, molded, and prepared for something much bigger than you could see while you were in the middle of the process. The karmic debt you were paying wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The universe wasn't punishing you. It was training you. Like an athlete who needs to go through intense training before a big competition, you needed to go through these 7 years of challenges before you were ready to receive what's coming now. And what's coming, Taurus, is so great, so abundant, so far beyond what you've experienced until now, that you needed to be absolutely prepared to receive it without getting lost in the process. Are you ready to discover that all the suffering had a greater purpose? On November 8th and 9th, 2025, something extraordinary will happen in your energy field. It's as if an invisible chain has been tied around your body for 7 years, limiting your movements and hindering your progress. You've learned to live with this chain, adjusting your life to compensate for this limitation. But on these 2 specific days, the chain will be cut. And for the first time in 7 years, you will move without that weight. The feeling will be surreal. In the first moments, you might even feel disoriented because you've become so accustomed to carrying this weight that it will seem strange not to feel it anymore. It's like when you carry a heavy backpack all day and finally take it off. Your body continues to feel the weight even after it's gone. But gradually, you'll begin to notice the difference. Things that were always difficult will start to flow naturally. Doors that were always closed will begin to open. Opportunities you pursued unsuccessfully will begin to come to you. For those born under the sign of Taurus between April 20th and April 30th, this liberation will manifest primarily in the financial and material realm. You will begin to see concrete and tangible results from your work in a way you haven't seen in years. For those born between May 1st and May 10th, the settling of karmic debt will more intensely affect your relationships and emotional connections. The right people will begin to appear in your life, and authentic relationships will form. And for those born between May 11th and May 20th, the liberation will occur at the level of self-esteem and recognition. You will finally be seen and valued in the way you have always deserved. But regardless of when you were born, all Tauruses will experience one thing in common on November 8th and 9th, a feeling of relief so profound it might even make you cry, not from sadness, but from liberation, as if you've been holding your breath for 7 years and can finally exhale completely. And with that exhalation, all the tension, all the frustration, all the accumulated tiredness will leave your body. Are you ready to finally release everything you've been holding inside? I want to talk about something you've probably never connected with before. That constant feeling of doing everything alone, of not receiving help, of having to fight for every small victory. That was also part of karmic debt. The universe placed you in a position where you couldn't depend on anyone, where you had to develop such solid inner strength that nothing could bring you down. And you did it. You built that strength. You became that person who can stand tall even when the storm is raging. But now that you've developed this strength, you no longer need to prove anything. On November 8th and 9th, 2025, the universe will begin sending you help from all directions. People who will want to support you. Situations that will make your life easier instead of harder. Synchronicities that will open paths where before there were only walls. And the most beautiful part, you will be strong enough to receive this help without feeling weak or dependent, because you have already proven that you can do everything on your own. Now you can choose not to do it that way anymore. Taurus, there's something the universe observed in you during these 7 years that qualified you for this complete liberation. You never became bitter. Even in the most difficult moments, you didn't let your heart harden completely. You may have been tired, disillusioned, disappointed, but you didn't become a bitter or cynical person. You continued to believe that good things were possible, even when your experience seemed to prove otherwise. This ability to maintain hope, even when reality was harsh, is what made you deserving of such a complete turnaround. Many people who go through difficult 7-year cycles emerge broken, resentful, with their hearts closed to life. But not you. You emerged stronger, wiser, more compassionate. You now understand what suffering is, so you don't judge the suffering of others. You know what struggle is, so you respect everyone's struggle. You know the value of each small victory because you know how much effort it takes. These qualities you've developed won't disappear when the debt is paid. They will remain with you and will be the foundation of your success in the new phase that is beginning. The universe has finally heard you. These words need to resonate within you. Every prayer you made and thought wasn't heard was. Every tear you shed alone in the silence of the night, the universe saw. Every moment you kept trying even without hope was recorded. Every time you helped someone, even when you were at rock bottom, it was noticed. The universe has a perfect accounting system. Nothing you did went unnoticed. And now, it's time for the reward. On November 8th and 9th, 2025, you will begin to receive back, multiplied, everything you gave during these 7 years. All the energy you invested will return with interest. All the love you offered will return amplified. All the perseverance you demonstrated will transform into concrete results. I'm not speaking poetically or metaphorically. I'm talking about real and tangible changes that you will be able to see, feel, touch. Money coming in, opportunities appearing, relationships improving, health strengthening, all at the same time, as if the universe were compensating for all the years of scarcity with an abundance you didn't even know was possible. And the most incredible part is that you will be ready to receive all of this. If this abundance had arrived 7 years ago, you probably wouldn't have known what to do with it. You might have wasted it, lost it, or failed to appreciate it. But now, after everything you've been through, you know exactly the value of each blessing. You will use everything you receive with wisdom, gratitude, and awareness. The universe waited to give you what you deserve until it was sure you were mature enough to manage it properly. Can you see now that the delay wasn't denial, but simply preparation so that you could receive it fully? I want you to pay attention to the signs that will begin to appear in the coming weeks before November 8th and 9th. You will notice that things will start to feel lighter, easier, and more fluid. Not drastically overnight, but gradually. Like when the sun is about to rise and the sky begins to clear even before the sun appears on the horizon. These will be the first signs that your liberation is approaching. Pay attention to the people around you as well. Some will naturally begin to drift away because they were part of the old cycle and have no role in the new phase. Don't force these connections. Let go with gratitude for what was. And also observe the new people who will begin to appear. They carry the energies of your new phase. Receive them with an open heart. They are gifts from the universe showing you that the renewal has already begun. Specifically on November 8th and 9th, make a point of being receptive. Don't fill those days with frantic activities or distractions. Create spaces of silence where you can feel the changes happening within you. You may not see anything dramatic happening externally, but internally it will be as if old storms are finally calming down. Pay attention to this inner stillness. It's one of the greatest gifts you will receive. And when the debt is officially paid off, when you feel that weight being lifted from your shoulders, I want you to do one thing. Don't immediately rush to the next goal, the next objective, the next challenge. Taurus, you've spent 7 years running, fighting, pushing. Allow yourself a moment to simply be, to exist without proving anything to anyone, not even to yourself, to feel what it's like to be alive without carrying heavy burdens. This moment of pause will be essential for you to fully integrate the transformation and prepare to receive everything that is coming. The new phase that begins after settling your karmic debt will be characterized by one word: fluidity. Things will start to happen naturally, without you needing to force it so much. It will even seem strange at first, because you've become accustomed to having to fight for everything. But gradually, you will adjust to this new reality where the universe is working in your favor instead of constantly testing you. And when you fully adapt, you will wonder how you managed to live that other way for so long. Taurus, I want to talk about something that might scare you a little. After your debt is paid off, you'll have to learn to receive. And truly receiving is much harder than it seems. For 7 years, you've conditioned yourself to give, work, fight, and conquer. But now you'll need to learn to simply receive without feeling the need to immediately compensate. The universe will offer you gifts, and you'll need to accept them without guilt, without feeling undeserving, without trying to immediately repay them. This will be your new lesson, understanding that you deserve to receive simply by existing, not just because of your efforts and sacrifices. You deserve abundance, not because you paid a debt, but because you always deserved it. The karmic debt was merely something that stood in your way, preventing you from receiving what was always rightfully yours by divine right. Now that it will be removed, nothing will block the flow of blessings that the universe wants to pour into your life. Are you willing to allow yourself to be loved and blessed without having to do anything in return? November 8th and 9th, 2025 will mark not only the end of a difficult cycle, but the beginning of something you've never experienced before in your entire life, living without weight, without debt, without cosmic guilt. You will discover what it's like to wake up without that feeling of always chasing after something, always having to prove something, always lacking something. And this lightness will transform every aspect of your existence. Your physical body will respond to this energetic release. Tensions you've carried for years will begin to loosen. Unexplained pains will begin to disappear. You will sleep better, wake up more refreshed, and have more energy during the day. Because when a karmic debt is paid off, it's not just your soul that is freed. Your physical body also registers this release and begins to heal in ways you didn't even know you needed. Your mind will become clearer, more focused, more creative. That mental fog that sometimes prevented you from thinking clearly will dissipate. You will have brilliant ideas, innovative solutions, and profound insights. Because your mental power was being used to carry and process all the weight of karmic debt. Now that this weight will be removed, all that mental energy will be available to create, imagine, and achieve. Your emotions will stabilize in a way you haven't felt in a long time. The emotional roller coaster that has characterized these past few years will give way to a profound serenity. This doesn't mean you won't feel emotions. You'll feel everything even more intensely. But without the chaos, without the constant turbulence, without that feeling of always being on the verge of an emotional collapse. Taurus, I want you to know that what is happening to you is rare. Not everyone has the chance to experience such a clear and definitive karmic discharge in this life. Most people carry their debts for entire incarnations, taking unresolved pieces from one life to another. But you were chosen to have this complete release in this very existence. This means there is something very important you need to do with your debt-free life, something you can only accomplish when you are completely unobstructed. The universe has set you free because it needs you operating at your maximum potential. Because it has missions for you that can only be fulfilled when you are light, strong, confident, and abundant. You were not freed solely for your own benefit. You were freed so that you can be an instrument of transformation in the lives of others as well. Your story of overcoming adversity, your strength in the face of challenges, your ability to maintain faith even in the darkest moments, all of this will inspire and help others who are going through their own difficult cycles. On November 8th and 9th, when your debt is officially paid off, you will feel a new responsibility forming within you. Not the heavy and suffocating responsibility you carried for these 7 years, but a light and empowering responsibility to live your life so fully, so authentically, so abundantly, that it serves as an example to others that it is possible to go through hell and come out not only alive, but stronger and brighter than ever. This is the true settlement of karmic debt, when you go from debtor to cosmic creditor, when the universe is indebted to you because you paid more than you owed, endured more than was expected, gave more than was necessary, and now it's time to receive what's due, with interest, with bonuses, with cosmic gratitude for everything you endured and overcame. Are you ready to claim everything the universe owes you? Share in the comments if you recognize these 7 difficult years in your life. Sharing your story will help other Taurians validate their own experiences and prepare for their own releases. Subscribe to the channel now, because November 8th and 9th are just the beginning. After your debt is paid off, You'll enter a completely new phase of your life, and you'll need guidance on how to navigate this uncharted territory of abundance, lightness, and fulfillment. Turn on notifications to receive updates as we approach these powerful days. Remember, your 7-year karmic debt is being paid off. On November 8th and 9th, 2025, you will be officially released. The universe has finally heard you, recorded all your effort, validated all your struggle, and decided that you have paid enough. Now it's time to receive. It's time to flourish. It's time to live the extraordinary life that was always destined for you, but was blocked by the debt you didn't even know you were paying. Get ready, Taurus. Your liberation is coming.